Y'all, I looked that man dead in his face, held out my hand, and I said, "Are you okay today?" She's like, "What you mean? Yeah, I'm okay. What you talking about?" I said, "Because I just met you." And that comment wasn't really that kind. So I'm wondering, are you okay? And when I tell you he had nothing to fucking say, it's just like sometimes you can bully these niggas with femininity. I was on a platform, on a relationship panel thing. It was a big platform. And the cast and I got into this huge thing because I was saying that I don't even care if this man is your husband. You do not ever get 100% because the 5 to 10% is the shovel you gonna need to dig yourself out when shit go left. And all the men on that stage was like, "Can I not pay 100% of the bills? Can I not do this?" And I said to the women, I pray you meet a man that doesn't require 100% of you, okay?
Okay, so first of all, to me that sounds dumb because the way she's setting it up is you always need to reserve a little bit of yourself and she didn't say in case, she said when it goes left. So it's already as if you are setting up a scenario in which the relationship is going to get toxic or it's going to fail. And that to me, like, that's bad because now what that means is that there's always going to be a level of distrust that you maintain in a relationship. And that's not healthy. Trust is pretty much a foundation of a healthy relationship. And so when you're reserving yourself, when you're keeping yourself, first of all, you're not being submissive. There's no way in a relationship with a masculine man, but you're holding a little bit of yourself, but then you're being submissive. So already you're not submissive. Now you're not really going to be fully trusting. There's always going to be something in the back of your head that's either waiting or preparing for things to go left. And so it creates this level of suspicion. So it's like, how can you really build a healthy rapport when you have that mindset? To me, that sounds like absolutely horrible advice. But let's see if she's able to expound. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, or maybe she explains more that makes sense.
That 5 to 10% when you want to go to Pilates, when you want to work out, when you want to pivot and try a new career, when you want to say, "Hey, I don't want to work no more and I want to be," that's the 5 to 10% that you keep to yourself so that you have wherewithal, because women are incubators, okay? Women will give you double back what you, and women need more space. Listen, women need way more space than men need to be able to pivot through life, right?
What she's talking about is just self-care. So self-care is a little different than I'm not giving myself to this relationship. So I don't know if maybe she didn't explain that well, but I'm like, you should be going to Pilates, doing exercise regardless of whether or not you're in a relationship. That is like, you don't get in a relationship and then you're 100% in the face of this man, you can't do nothing else. No, like I said, your career that can change. Okay. What else did she mention? Going out, like those things that she mentioned to me are not dependent upon your ability to fully show up in a relationship. Those are just things that you do that make you a healthy, functional adult. So I don't really understand what she said. Actually doesn't really make sense explaining it, but either way, I don't agree with this idea of like always in the back of your mind, you're waiting for the relationship to fail or to go left. So you always need to keep a little bit of yourself. That's called trust issues. And that's the kind of stuff that can undermine a relationship slowly.
Pray that all women listening to this meet a man that doesn't require all of you. He wants you to keep that and recharge.
So again, it sounds like she's creating a scenario where the man just wants you to just be all the time at his beck and call, always in your face. Men don't really want that. A lot of men want their space too. They're not trying to be up under their wife or their lady 24/7. Like, they want their own time. So the way she's framing it to me doesn't make sense. And it kind of sounds silly to me. And I'm like, are you married? Are you married? It's just based upon what she said. It don't seem like it. But let's see. I think I saw a few else from her. Let's go over this one. This says, Black love is a standard. Okay.
Before we get to the nitty gritty, I pray this don't become a thing. I do not date men that have been with other races. I don't give a fuck. I do not personally date men that have dibbled and dabbled in the United Nations. I just prefer Black men that have a high preference for Black women. Are you?
Now, here's the thing. I'm not necessarily mad at it because I know there's many of you guys who feel the same way. No reach back, right? There are plenty of you guys who follow me who just prefer to be with Black women who have only been with Black men because from what I've heard, many of y'all find that those kind of women tend to have a particular kind of energy and perspective that's just more in alignment with your values. So I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. No, I think it's hypocritical if somebody is saying that, but then they didn't swirl and they didn't, dated the United Nations as she used it. I think that could be hypocritical. But her having that particular point of view is like, okay, whatever. This one says, okay, soft power shuts men down.
Women forget you can bully these niggas with femininity. It is so powerful. This actually just happened to me about a month or two ago. I was out with my friend and she was dating one of the guys in the group. So she brought me and a couple other girls out and we got introduced to their friends. And I had went to the bar and he just kind of had a very rude response, kind of like, I guess you didn't see me here or something like that. Very mean and rude. Seems to be like something's wrong with you assholes, what I really wanted to say, because why would you don't even know me, y'all. I looked that man dead in his face, held out my hand, and I said, "Are you okay today?" She's like, "What you mean? Yeah, I'm okay. What you talking about?" I said, "Because I just met you." And that comment wasn't really that kind. So I'm wondering, are you okay? And when I tell you he had nothing to fucking say, it's just like sometimes you can bully these niggas with femininity. I'm telling you, like, it has so much power. And for you to be just calm and sweet when men are being like rude and, this kind of behavior, I'm telling you, can get very, very far with it.
So I don't know why you would want to bully a man, but I do understand her point where it's like, listen, soft answer turns away wrath. Sometimes just when someone's coming really aggressive or they're just rude for no reason, when you're able to kind of keep your cool, honestly, that will tend to reflect more on them, and they will oftentimes be forced to look at their crazy or just outrageous behavior when you were able to keep your cool. So I can understand that, but I don't understand why you want to bully a man with your femininity. I don't understand that. So yeah, I think she's a relationship coach. There's many of those. Some of the stuff I've seen to me kind of doesn't really fully make sense. Some of it, to me, it seems to be all over the place. Here's what I will say in general, though, my personal opinion. I don't necessarily think anybody should be taking any relationship or dating advice from someone who's not married. If you want to be married. Now, if you just want to be eternally dating and, on your dating single journey, then by all means, follow anybody out there that's popular. But I think if you actually want marriage or long-term relationship, then it actually would make sense to follow somebody who has that. That is just my personal opinion. So I don't get caught up in a lot of these, big dating coaches or relationship like me personally. I'm like, my thing is, are you married? Okay, then I can listen to you or I'll at least consider you. If you're not, then no. I'm also married too, so it wouldn't make sense for me to listen to somebody who's dating and you just is never married. Like we're just in different spaces in our life. But that's just me. Like if I'm taking advice from somebody, I'm taking advice from somebody who was where I am at. If you're just talking to me because you didn't have all this experience, but you ain't been able to actually, make the sale or convert, then like to me, it's just theoretical at that point. But that's just my opinion, y'all. What do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening. If you've got this far, we'll talk later. Bye.